I want to talk about worry. Are you someone who worries, who entertains thoughts and beliefs of limitation, of worry, of fear, of doubt? In this video today, my intention is to shift you out of that state because I can tell you right now it serves no purpose. In fact, the only purpose that it does serve is to feed and energize a reality that actually you do not want, you do not prefer. And so, why are we still getting pulled into and pulled under with thoughts and beliefs of worry, lack, and limitation? I'll tell you why. It's really easy to fall into that. We are living through a time right now, and we have been for a long time, but there just happens to be a lot of fear that's being broadcasted through the planet right now. We are experiencing that. We're seeing it externally and outside of us. It can feel like there's some turbulence. And so it is natural because the mind thinks its job is to protect us and to keep us alive. And it does that by throwing off thoughts of worry, of fear, of lack, of separation. But what I want to tell you is you cannot be in that vibration and simultaneously be in the vibration and the frequency of your soul. So this video today is to help you switch out of that, to shift out of that once and for all, and to catch yourself when you're going into that limitation. Because all of that, doubt, fear, shame, worry, separation, it's not coming from your soul. It is not coming from your divine nature. And if you are here listening to this channel, it's because you are curious about spirituality. And I teach spirituality not as a concept, not as just a lofty idea, but in a way that's grounded, that's embodied, that we're walking our talk, that we're living and breathing it. And when we're going through times that are testing us, that are pushing up against us, that is the time when we are being asked to lead from soul, not to lead from our conditioning, not to lead and make choices from a place of worry, which actually serves no purpose whatsoever. So before we go any further, I would love it if you could subscribe to my channel, like this video, and let me know in the comments how you're finding this. Have you been dwelling in the frequency of worry? Or have you been dwelling in the frequency of certainty? Because we cannot be in both of those places, in both of those states or frequencies simultaneously. So worry is very primal. It's very conditioned in us. And it's basically sending a very specific signal out into the universe. If you've been following this channel for a while, if you've been familiar with my work or listening to my podcast, I talk quite a bit about how we are a cause in our life. And the effect is our three-dimensional experience. It's the reality that we are seeing on the outside. It's the experiences that are coming in. So often we're waiting for that to change before we feel a certain way. But what I'm teaching is that we are actually the change maker. We are actually the signal. So if you are in the vibration of worry, you are projecting a signal of worry out into the universe, which, as I said, serves no purpose other than to energize, to put energy into a particular fear or a particular timeline that we do not want to experience. So for instance, if you are worried about bills, if you are worried about money, you're coming from the ego's belief in lack and scarcity and not enoughness. Now that isn't true. That's constructed by our personality in this lifetime. So when we are in that vibration, in that frequency, we are disconnecting ourselves from source. We are disconnecting ourselves from divine mind. And one of the ways I talk about this is that divine mind is like the ocean. Call it God, call it source, call it universe, whatever you want. And we, in our individual selves, are like waves of the ocean. So we are not separate from it. A wave's not separate from the ocean. It is a part of the ocean. It is a divine aspect of the ocean. It is connected and tapped into all that is. So, like that, we are tapped into and connected to all that there is, which means we're connected to Source. Source is the creator of all that is, everything that we can see and experience around us. We're not separate from that. So we are an aspect of the divine. When we dwell in thoughts of worry, fear, lack, separation, we forget that. We forget our power. We forget the power of the universe. So when you worry, it's like you're saying to divine mind or universe, you are not sufficient. You are not capable. I do not trust that you're able to solve this for me. I do not trust that you're able to create this, whatever it is that you're wanting. So if you're worrying about, here's an example, running out of money, you're basically saying to the universe, I do not trust that you are my infinite supply. Imagine a wave worrying about running out of water. Like, it seems ludicrous, but that's what's happening. When we do that, we believe this: I am separate. I am separate from all that is. I am separate from the divine. I do not trust in that infinite supply that flows through me. The ocean is infinite. It is always going to be there, sustaining, flowing through the waves. And so that's the signal that we're giving off. And when we do that, we're playing in the ego. We're letting the ego win. We're letting the ego rule. So all of that is what initiates from the ego. Now, what the other signal that we're basically sending out and saying to the universe is like, I don't trust you. I believe that I have to do this. I have to make this happen. I'll give you another example. Prices are going up, inflation, interest rates. Yes, these can feel like all real things, but it feels so much harder when we believe that it is just us, our little separate self, disconnected from all there is, that's got to make it happen, that's got to figure it out. I want to ask you, when have you been without? And were you okay? When have you been destitute on the street? When have you been without the money? What we think is loss is sometimes just the contraction that serves a purpose before we then move into a bigger level of expansion. It's like the breath. Often there's the contraction. It's like the wave. Often there's the pullback before the bigger expansion. But there always is the expansion on the other side. But we just have to learn to trust in the flow. We just have to learn to trust that universal mind is working with us. So we can't be in worry and certainty at the same time. And the way to mitigate the worry, the way to shift out of that, is to come back into the vibration of our soul frequency, which is certainty, which is it is done, which is I trust in you explicitly. I trust and I know and I remember that I am tapped into the divine, that I am connected who all there is, because I remember and I know that there are things in my life that have been divinely orchestrated for me beyond what I could conceive, beyond what I could have mustered. So really, even believing that I have to do it and that it's just on me is not truth. If you look back in the past, you'll be able to find evidence of that. You are not doing this alone. You are in divine collaboration. So you, as an individual soul, you have so much power. And your power is your consciousness. Your power is your awareness. So now you get to choose, where am I placing it? Am I placing it? Am I energizing this frequency, this feeling of worry, these thoughts of worry that spiral? Or am I shifting myself out of that, so out of my ego conditioning, back home to my soul, where I remember who I am, where I remember that I am one with the divine, where I remember that abundance isn't something that I get or something that I work towards. Abundance is my nature. Abundance is who I am, like the wave in the ocean. It is me. And the universe, God, Creator, is my infinite supply. So if Creator is my infinite supply, then I am my infinite supply because I'm not separate from it. So when I take my clients and students through their manifestation journey, certainty is the frequency. As I said, it's the frequency of our soul. It's the frequency that enables you to collapse time because it is done. And that knowing shifts us, moves us out of thoughts of limitation and lack, which isn't our true nature. Our true nature is certainty. And the invitation right now is, how can I anchor into certainty without anything else being different out there in the external world, without me needing to control what's being communicated or what I'm receiving through this broadcast, because that's going to continue on, but I get to choose where I place my attention. And I would rather place my attention on what feels good, on the outcomes that I want to energize, on the remembrance that the universe has me, it has my back, and it has sufficiency, it has capacity, immense capacity beyond my mind, beyond logic, to bring into my world all that I desire. So I can stop the micromanaging. I can actually stop that and hand it over. And the other thing I want to say, because people will often think, unless I'm doing it, maybe it's not going to happen. Unless I'm doing all of the things, unless I'm focusing on my desires, how is this co-creative force, the universe, going to know what I desire? I want to tell you something. You only have those desires because your soul has placed them there, because the universe has placed them there, because it knows what you're destined for. You've already chose it before you've come in, before you've incarnated. So you have a choice to let go, to surrender into the divine plan that you know your soul has signed up for, or to try and hustle through it, make it happen, dwell in thoughts of lack, limitation, and worry, listen to the media, listen to what's going on in there, turn yourself into knots and into a ball of stress. You get to choose. My recommendation always is to come back home into union and into collaboration and communication with the aspect of you that's beyond doubt, beyond reason, beyond logic, who holds the map of this divine experience that's called your lifetime, and say, it is done. I trust in the unseen. I trust in what I can't see. I trust in what I don't know. And I know that you've got me. So thanks for showing me the way. And that, my friends, is a way that you can begin to shift out of worry into the frequency of certainty. If you enjoyed this video, comment below, like it, subscribe, share it with a friend, because the more that we can shift out of worry, the more that we can start to elevate this planet onto a higher timeline and prepare for the new earth. I'm going to share more on this, so make sure you've hit the follow and subscribe button. Take care.